Hey there, connoisseurs. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also, the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors and home to the best MJ community. Today is Tuesday. It's October 22nd. Hope you're well. In this video, we're going to be discussing why the sudden jump in MJ stocks. There's been a lot of speculation. I haven't found anything concrete. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it, but we're 2 weeks away actually from the elections today. And I've been saying for many months now that 10, 20 days before the election, we're really going to start to see these stocks move, and we're going to see the narrative pick up. We're going to continue to pump MJ, but I think it's mostly technical. I haven't found anything signaling otherwise, but if anybody does have any news that they came across, there was some rumors that Trump was speaking in Florida. I didn't find any confirmation of that, and I can't imagine what he would say, other than what he has already said, right? He's already said he's going to vote in favor of Amendment 3, and the polls have been showing that this is likely going to pass. So I literally can't think of anything that he would be saying pertaining to Florida that we don't already know. So I don't think that's it. I think it's just purely technical. Some names have pulled back 70% plus in the last few months, and it's been a while since we had a real rally. And like I said, as we get closer to the election, we're going to continue to see more and more technical, the momentum start to pick back up to the bulls, and then we're also going to see more and more mentioning of MJ. We're going to get closer to Florida. I think that's going to pass, and then also crypto has been pulling back in the last few days, and this is a good sign for 2025. And again, what I've been saying, we're going to see MJ run after crypto. Before we get to it, make sure to smash a like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And by the way, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. So I mentioned yesterday that high tide was about 2.25, or actually that was 3 hours ago. That was today. I mentioned we did have a bull flag yesterday, but then I gave an update today. So high tide was about 2.25% away from its 4-hour bull flag target of 310 USD. And then I posted today CGC 5-minute bull flag confirmed, a little over 3% away of the 520 USD target, and that confirmed to perfection. So anybody who tells you that technical analysis doesn't work, they just don't know how to use the tools that were given to them, or they don't understand what technical analysis is. It's not a guarantee, it's just probability, right? So if we take a look at the daily time frame here on CGC, we did have a level there at 530. We also had, like I said, the 5-minute bull flag that was reached. We actually extended it. We overshot that target, and now we're coming back down, seeing some consolidation. We could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here. Maybe we come back down flush below $5, but I'd like to see us close above $5 here today. But overall, we had a level there at 530. That's exactly where we topped out, double top. And in my opinion, it's all about monthly resistance from here, because if we zoom in here, and it's been absolutely destroyed, you got to zoom in a lot. You can see that we pulled back in 6 months. We've been pulling back for the last 6 months. We're down almost 75% in 6 months. This is crazy to think about. And we haven't bounced, meaning we haven't broken the high of the previous monthly candle now in 6 months. So the high of last month at 547 is going to be the level to break. If we break that monthly bounce for the first time in half a year, and we could easily see a move up to EMA 12, which would be another 50% from here. And I mentioned in the Pow Group private community yesterday, if we just go to the MJ channel here, if we go up here to the CGC chat. Where was it? And then here was MJ on the day today, up double digits. CGC obviously stealing the show, up over 20% at one point, and then crypto has been weak. So in my opinion, this is a great sign for 2025. We have all the catalysts. Florida likely going to pass. Rescheduling could happen by January or March of 2025 if everything goes well. And then I think we're going to get potential for banking, and then excise tax improvement here in Canada. We'll see uplisting more than likely in 2025. There's so many catalysts on the horizon. Germany fast tracking Pillar 2. So that's looking really, really good. But I mentioned yesterday that I'm going to be, where was it here? So I was saying yesterday, right here. So yesterday I took some profit on my high tide short position, or short-term position rather, and I added a bit more of CGC. I was a lot heavier on high tide than CGC, and this was just a shorter term swing, looking for CGC to follow high tide and start the weekly bounce over the coming weeks heading into the election. And as I mentioned today, it's 2 weeks before the election. And, I think with everything going on, right, we had Kamala coming out and saying she wants to federally legalize it. So, when you get news like that and the stock isn't running, sometimes it can just be a muted reaction. Sometimes it can take days. Sometimes it can take some amount of weeks before we start to see that momentum pick back up. And that's generally what happens, right? Is when everybody's expecting something, it's usually the opposite. So, and just because she comes out and there's a muted reaction doesn't mean there's not going to be a reaction. In Usually, it's just shorts covering and then they let it run, right? And then everybody's looking for a reason, but they kind of forget that, oh, we just had a presidential nominee come out and say they want to legalize at the federal level, and they're still wondering why, we're up. Well, might it be that, the prices have just been delayed? It's just been a delayed reaction, right? The market isn't really pricing in what's about to happen over the coming years, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it's going to be generational wealth. But yeah, we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on CGC as well. We have EMA 12 at 441 and EMA 26 at 454, meaning we could still see more upside from here. But as of right now, 530 is the key level to break from now going forward. That's the double top resistance. And then after that, major resistance is going to be 547, which is the high of last month. Break that, and it'll be the first time, like I said, in 6 months, and after a 75% drawdown. So we could easily see 100 to 200% move from here. And I posted my MJ performance video the other day as well. I was down 44% on my CGC position. I rotated a lot of the high tide profits yesterday into CGC. And essentially, it's a free trade now on my high tide short position. But I rotated those profits into CGC. And then after the move today, I'm only down about 25% on that CGC position. So that's how quickly things can change in a hurry, and the power of dollar cost averaging. But just taking a look here, we are seeing a little bit of a cool off. CGC still leading the way. We have CXXI and AYR leading the charge thereafter. And notable mention to ACB, also added Cureleaf today as well. This thing's looking fantastic on the weekly time frame. But yeah, MSOS was lagging. And again, if you're wondering why we're not seeing this huge move on US MJ, I think it's just because Canadian MJ has been more beaten down, and it's listed on US major exchanges. But keep in mind, we could see some additional news. But like I said, I can't see, even if Trump were speaking, what would he tell us that we don't already know, right? He's already said he's voting in favor of it. He's already said he's pro Amendment 3 in Florida. He already said he's going to be voting yes. He said, the way they're doing it's very good. So, I mean, what else could he say? And then in terms of the federal legalization, he said it's been great from a medical standpoint. And, he thinks that the more and more that states legalize it, the more he's starting to agree that people shouldn't be in jail, et cetera. So very much a state issue in his mind. But, overall, best thing that we can hope for is that both parties, it's a nonpartisan issue. And it's, we just see them absolutely pump it into the elections. But just remember what happened in February 2021, that massive run up, right? And on MSOS, that was all-time highs on the hopes of U.S. legalizing. Well, we have a presidential candidate that's saying, I want to legalize it at the federal level. And here we are from all-time lows. We're only about 55% off of those lows, right? So we still have to go another 640% to all-time highs. And that was just on hopes of the U.S. legalizing. So imagine what happens when they actually do. And then 2, 3, 4, 5 years after that, right? We're going to be much, much higher than we are now. And like I said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't listen to any of the naysayers out there. This industry isn't going anywhere. It's, some people saying, oh, it's not a very high cash-flowing sector. That could not be anything further from the truth. We're going to see massive, massive cash flow generation from these companies. And Cureleaf, to quote Boris Jordan, he said that Cureleaf would already be paying a dividend if it weren't for 280E. So let that sink in for a moment. And he believes that MJ companies are going to be very, very high cash flowing businesses. So overall, it's looking really, really good, but the party hasn't even started yet. A lot of names haven't even started their monthly bounce yet. If we look at MSOS, it's just starting the monthly bounce. So that gives us some encouragement that names that haven't already done so will likely do so, right? Like a CGC, for example, but all about 547 on CGC. And CGC has been one of the weakest of the week, and we're starting to see a stochastic bull cross and a MACD bull cross, and we could potentially close over the 10-week moving average this week, and we could be gearing up for the 50 and the 100 weekly bull cross, and we could be gearing up for a golden cross just after we had a death cross. So everything's looking good here, and I would expect lots of more upside into the elections here. Like I said, we have exactly 2 weeks from today, and we're probably going to find out that Florida is going to approve adult use. But like I said, what else could we possibly find out that we don't already know about Trump in Florida. I don't think there's anything there, but I think this is mostly technical. And like I said, CGC absolutely destroyed the last 6 months, down almost 75%. So to see, a 10, 20% move in a day, everybody's obviously looking for news, but like I said, we just had a presidential candidate say they want to legalize it at the federal level, and people were like sleeping on it, right? So sometimes there can be a delayed reaction, but overall, I think it's mostly technical, and you should expect a lot more upside over the next month or two. All right, going into there, if anybody has come across any other news that I'm not privy to, like I said, I live and breathe this stuff all day, every day. I've looked at X. I looked at, the POW Group private community and all my resources and checked all my news feeds. Haven't seen anything. So if you come across anything concrete that I may have missed in terms of news, let me know. But going into there, hope you have a great day. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments section below. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.